A century ago, lumber was king in this valley. Sawmills lined the banks of the Susquehanna. Huge hemlocks floated down from distant logging camps, awaited their turn beneath the whirling saw blades. Williamsport fed a voracious and growing America's appetite for lumber. Today the mills are gone, but today Williamsport is the kingpin of an expanding north-central Pennsylvania region. In these 100 years, much has changed. But one constant has prevailed, the need for quality medical and health care in the region. And for a century, the Williamsport Hospital has met these needs. What is this region like today? At its center is Williamsport, a bustling little city, a modern city, but with many reminders of a rich and glorious past. Williamsport is the birthplace of Little League Baseball. It is the home of Grit, America's largest selling family news weekly. It counts among its employers such companies as GTE Sylvania, Avco, and Bethlehem Steel. It is the center of regional transportation, an important center for business and commerce, for higher education, for agriculture, and a center for recreation. And the Williamsport Hospital is a vital center for regional medical and health care. What is the Williamsport Hospital today? It is all the things a hospital is expected to be. Care and treatment of patients, surgery, newborns, emergency room, laboratories, and x-rays. But there is more that is rarely seen by most people. Cardiac care, rehabilitation, nuclear medicine, and education. And today's hospital is things too often taken for granted. Preparing and serving 45,000 meals each month, washing nearly 3 tons of dirty linen each day, and keeping clean 2.5 miles of corridors and rooms. And further, the hospital is people. The Williamsport Hospital is the 3rd largest employer in the city. It has a staff of dedicated, hard-working, and highly skilled doctors and nurses and therapists and aides and clerks and administrators and cooks and other service personnel. In short, today's modern hospital is people. People caring for people. That is really what modern medicine is all about. A woman having a child is as old as life. It is in the hospital where life begins. She turns to the physician, the hospital, and to people dedicated to life.
But while you're in labor, please ask questions.
Okay.
Because if you know the answers, if you know that the baby's all right, if you know that everything's going along smoothly, you can relax and have the baby in 2/3 of the time, as if you have to worry or wonder about this and that.
The Williamsport Hospital's primary function is to serve people, and serve it does. 1 out of every 2 people in a service area of 325,000 seek some type of health care at the Williamsport Hospital yearly. 12,000 patients will be admitted. Nearly 1,000 babies will be born, and 500,000 laboratory tests will be performed. Many people use the hospital, but few realize the scope of its operation. For example, there are 3 special care units at the Williamsport Hospital: intensive care, special surgical care, and coronary care. These units provide extended personal care to patients needing constant observation. Coronary care is typical of these special care units. Patients admitted here are victims of cardiovascular disease. The Coronary Care Unit, or CCU, provides sophisticated life-saving and monitoring equipment for heart patients. The CCU is divided into 2 care areas. There is this 4-bed suite, where the most serious cases are placed, and this 12-bed intermediate unit just down the hall. A staff assigned only to the CCU and specially trained to handle coronary patients provides around-the-clock care. If an emergency arises here, like a cardiac arrest, these nurses, aided by a dozen specialists from other areas of the hospital, will respond immediately. They have this crash cart ready at all times for emergencies. The crash cart is equipped with the instruments and medicines like respirators, defibrillators, and special drugs needed to treat a coronary emergency. The CCU is a truly modern, self-contained care area. This unit is indicative of advancing medical technology. A decade ago, the coronary care unit did not exist. Today, the Williamsport Hospital can serve the needs of almost any person requiring special care.
When do these dreams start?
Typically 5:30. Got awake and I had to go to the bathroom.
Down this maze of corridors, some of the most important services offered by the Williamsport Hospital are found. In this myriad of little rooms, technicians aided by highly sophisticated equipment perform some of the most basic functions of modern medicine. It is here that the x-rays are made, the blood counts taken, the EKGs recorded, and intravenous solutions prepared. In short, all the medical backup and support services needed by a growing hospital are here. And here, more than anywhere else in the hospital, space-age technology prevails. The equipment used is among the most advanced. Without these diagnostic and therapeutic tools, the staff would not be able to keep pace with the ever-increasing workload. This is an X-ray machine, a type familiar to those who have ever had a chest X-ray. This too is an X-ray machine, but it is a little different. It is called a tomography unit. It enables the operator to isolate and then photograph a very thin layer of tissue. The machine does this by moving its head and the film plate. This picture may seem a little blurred, but to the radiologist it shows detail of a section of the head only 1/8 of an inch thick. Tomography is a new technique that allows for the first time photography of tiny parts deep within the body. And this complicated-looking piece of machinery also makes pictures within the body. It is called a digital autofluoroscope. It uses radioactive materials injected into or swallowed by the patient, making the organ visible to the machine. This is called nuclear medicine imaging, and it is another special department at the Williamsport Hospital. The massive dots in this picture is the brain. In the center is a tumor. The physician wants to be able to check the size and shape of an organ to make sure there are no abnormalities like this tumor. The nuclear camera can do this in ways not possible with normal X-ray techniques. It is just another way medicine has put modern technology to work. Down this hallway are the various medical labs. Many sciences are represented here. These labs perform tests that provide the doctors with up-to-date diagnostic information on the condition of their patients. Each person admitted to the hospital receives a battery of clinical tests, and other tests are made throughout each patient's stay. The labs type blood, isolate and identify bacteria, study tissue samples and blood chemistry, and perform a host of other tests. Here, a staff member in the hematology department is performing a blood count. The blood is drawn from the subject and put into this little machine. 40 seconds later, the technician has a complete readout on the composition of the blood. New equipment has been developed to help speed testing and analysis procedures. This is the SMA 12-60. This maze of plastic tubes and dials and lights runs 12 separate chemical tests automatically in a matter of a few minutes. The machine does everything. Breaks down the fluid it is testing, in this case blood serum, pumps it through the various electronic sensors, and prints out the results almost like a computer. In a department like chemistry, where over 200 different types of tests are routinely performed, a machine like this can be a great time saver. Wherever possible, the labs are switching to automated procedures to make their operations more efficient. IVAS is an acronym for Intravenous Additive Solutions. This unit supplies the hospital with hundreds of different intravenous fluids. Intravenous medicine is a technique using liquids that are injected into the patient over a long period of time. Sometimes the solution might be saline-based, that is salt, or it might have a dextrose base, sugar. If necessary, the IV team can provide bags of solutions that contain all the nutrients needed to sustain life. Over half the solutions prepared here contain drugs. Drugs administered intravenously are faster acting than those simply injected or taken orally. These technicians mix the drug into the IV solution and deliver it to the patient's room for administration. There, an IV therapist makes the insertion and starts the intravenous flow. These are but a few of the backup and support services that help keep the Williamsport Hospital running efficiently. Through the use of modern equipment and technology, the staff is now able to provide a greater number of these services than ever before.
Okay, whenever you're ready, let her go.
Ouch, ouch,
No, it
ouch.
isn't. How about this?
Ouch.
Take the back first. Better open another one of those, maybe it's too low for that.
Oh, yeah.
A little more.
The Total Rehabilitation Center is relatively new to hospitals. There have long been physical therapy units, but the concept of totally rehabilitating a disabled person is recent. The Williamsport Hospital opened the Rehabilitation Center in 1969. People come here to have a sore muscle treated, and they come to learn how to live again. The sophisticated equipment so necessary to other departments has little space here. Electronics cannot reteach a stroke patient how to walk. This center thrives on one-to-one contact. One dedicated therapist helping one disabled patient to prevail over his handicap. People helping people. That is really what this is all about. Rehabilitation here takes many forms. The entire first floor of the center is devoted to physical medicine. This area handles hydrotherapy treatment through the use of circulating water. Patients with torn muscles benefit from immersion in the whirlpool, and so do patients with severe burns. Post-operative patients are brought here to help them recover normal muscular movement. These large whirlpool baths, built here in Williamsport, are used to immerse the whole body. Electrotherapy makes use of different kinds of heat and cold. Patients suffering from muscle tears, bursitis, and swelling benefit from these forms of treatment. In many cases, a patient receives both hydro and electrotherapy, depending upon the diagnosis and prescription of the physician. These treatments help to restore the normal range of motion in a person who has fractured a limb or suffered other debilitating afflictions. In the gym, therapists help people who have suffered severe muscle damage or the loss of an arm or leg. Braces and artificial limbs are fitted here. And in some cases, patients are taught how to walk all over again. The combination of hydro, electro, and this physical therapy can go a long way to help a severely handicapped person return to normal life. But another very important aspect of the total rehabilitation program is occupational therapy. It is there that the patient learns how to re-enter society following a stroke, disabling disease, or accident. First, the patients are evaluated. Then a program is designed for them. In some cases, the finer movements and coordinations are worked on. A stroke patient, for example, would find it difficult to pick up a small object like this. But working with the occupational therapists, the patient will learn how to control his movements to reestablish this coordination needed for this sort of activity. A well-equipped arts and crafts shop allows patients to have fun while they learn how to use their arms, hands, and fingers again. One of the most important aspects of the occupational therapy program is teaching severely disabled persons how to care for themselves. Total rehabilitation strives toward achieving independence. This goes as much for lifestyle as for motion. Patients are taught how to cook for themselves in a specially equipped kitchen. Special utensils are available to help overcome certain types of handicaps, like partial paralysis in one arm. Patients learn how to dress and wash themselves, and patients confined to wheelchairs are taught, for example, how to transfer from their chair to a bed. Speech and hearing therapists are available, and so are psychological services, recreational therapy, and vocational counseling. The idea is to get the handicapped person back into the mainstream of life. All this adds up to total rehabilitation.
Promised you, girl? Didn't I?
Okay. That's what I told Ken. I told Ken last fall that we
7:27. I remember.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah.
Walking little kid.
Franz? Congratulations. You have a daughter.
Well, thank you.
They're both fine.
The Williamsport Hospital is continually upgrading its services, always with an eye towards the future. Keeping up with an ever-changing medical technology is expensive. Obsolete equipment must be replaced with modern tools. The staff must keep up with new developments in medical and health care. New facilities must be built and old ones renovated. The hospital must keep pace with the growing regional community it serves. Looking towards the future, the hospital constructed a core services center. Here are located new operating rooms, a new and larger emergency room with a specially built heliport connected to it, larger quarters for X-ray, dietary, outpatient business office, and facilities for all the laboratories. Space made available in the main building will be renovated and used to increase support services and office facilities. A new medical center building was opened recently. Many local physicians have moved their practices into this modern building. But one of the prime features of this medical center is the Family Practice Group Unit. To help relieve the shortage of doctors in this area, the Family Practice Unit recruits residents from medical schools to provide supervised medical and health care. The resident has, in essence, a full practice for 3 years. Training new doctors and serving the needs of the community can both be achieved with this new concept in medical care. The Williamsport Hospital is also affiliated with several educational institutions to ensure the supply of properly trained medical personnel. The schools include the University of Pennsylvania, Penn State, the University of Pittsburgh, Temple, Bloomsburg, the University of West Virginia, East Carolina University, Duke, and Williamsport's own Lycoming and community colleges. The hospital, in addition to extending its influence beyond the local area, is also a campus within itself, with educational and training programs for the physician, nurse, radiologic and medical technologist, dietary technicians, and physical therapists. The Williamsport Hospital, besides being a medical education center, provides backup and support services for other area hospitals. The hospital was also instrumental in establishing a regional health care center in Blossburg. Still another move forward is the expansion of care services within the local community. The most visible of these are the outpatient clinics. These clinics are open to everyone in need of some kind of special care. There's a clinic for rheumatic heart patients and one for amputees, another for hearing disorders, venereal disease, fractures, family planning, and crippled children. These are but a few of the more visible signs of change taking place at the Williamsport Hospital today. Each day, in some way, the hospital moves ahead one more step. The future will bring an increasing reliance on sophisticated machinery, but the future will never forsake the capabilities of a well-trained and dedicated staff. People are the reason that Williamsport Hospital exists, and this will always be so.